Hello, St. Andrew's Church. Although I can't see you physically, you're in my thoughts and prayers every day. I hope that you're all doing okay. I wanted to let you know that leading into this new normal, that your staff is already developing a new rhythm of being able to work together even though we're dispersed. We're all working at home except for 2 staff members who are at the office preparing to work at home by next week. Each morning this week, your staff is meeting by Google Meet online to be able to coordinate our work together as ministry continues at St. Andrew's Church. We're preparing a video like this every day to keep in touch with you, and we're also preparing for live streaming online of our service at 10 a.m. this Sunday. We hope you'll plan to join us and invite others to join us as well. Pastoral care is also being planned, and staff are working well together in responding to this changing season of ministry for us. So this is where I work, here at home. Joyce and I are grateful that our 2 sons from the East Coast have returned home and will be finishing their university term here. There'll actually be 4 of us working at home, and since we have 4 desks in 4 different rooms of the house, we'll all be able to work here together. Joyce, who is a nurse, will still go out to work. I've been thinking about us all spending this time at home, and for some of us, that means being alone. American writer Henry David Thoreau in the 1840s retreated to live in the simple solitude of a cabin on Walden Pond. Thoreau famously wrote that in that solitary cabin he had 3 chairs, one for solitude, one for friendship, and one for society. Perhaps in these forced days at home, we could learn from this. It's important that we continue to maintain a routine and a social balance in these days of so-called social distancing. Let's say that the chair for solitude represents that time that we are intentionally set apart each day for personal prayer, silence, and reflection. This is really the source of peace and grace and clarity which only God can give us. Check out the link to prayasugo.org at the bottom of this message if you'd like some help with this first chair. We all need some calm, prayerful space each day. The second chair is for friendship. I hope each of you have people that you're still talking with every day. If you're at home alone, we can do this the old-fashioned way through phone, or even better, we can do it through FaceTime or video calls. If you're home with family members, we need to also have intentional times for conversation. These days, it's tempting for everyone to stay in their own corner on their own devices. But even when we're together, it can be tempting to let devices continually distract us. Instead, let's be intentional about silencing those devices when we gather around the table for meals and for meaningful conversation. Let's make room for fun as well, like playing a game together. The chair of friendship means that we always need to be having someone to talk to, talking about all these changes that we're going through, what's happening around us. This is someone who loves us and with whom we can talk honestly and just be ourselves. Make time for this kind of conversation every day. And be mindful that texting, tweeting, Instagram, and email can't be a replacement for real conversations. Such real conversations can happen in a variety of ways. Since our move from the East Coast, we have discovered that if you can't be there in person, that video calls are the next best way of keeping our relationships green and growing. Who can you have a conversation with every day? And finally, keep a chair for society. In other words, watch the news, read the paper, and trusted online sources. Tune in every day to keep up to date on developments, especially since things change so quickly from day to day. Listen to announcements from the Canadian government and Alberta Health, and let it inform your prayers, and then turn it off. I remember Norman, who lived alone. His wife had died. He watched the news all day long. And when I would visit him, I would see how its constant company made him continually anxious and worried. And this is why we have to keep all 3 chairs and maintain a balance between them. 1 chair for solitude and prayer, 1 chair for friendship, and 1 chair for society. Try it yourself. And may God bless you, my friends, with good silence, good friendship, and good knowledge. Peace to you all.